When ISIS rose to power 10 years ago in Syria and Iraq, one of its first orders of business was genocide. The so-called Islamic State sought to eliminate all other religions, including Iraq's Yazidi minority. It was a day we can never forget, says Ali Bashar. He lived with his wife and 3 children in the Iraqi village of Kojo. When ISIS arrived, the community was offered a choice: hand over their belongings and convert to Islam or die. He says hundreds of Yazidi men were taken in groups to a farm and told to climb into an empty swimming pool. Then ISIS opened fire. Ali was shot twice in the back. He played dead among the bodies until ISIS left. My life was saved, but we didn't know if my family was alive, he says. His son, Burke, is still missing and presumed dead. His wife and daughters were kept as ISIS slaves. His wife, Samu, says she still can't talk about it. Eventually, she and one of her daughters escaped, and the family came to Canada as refugees, but without their youngest daughter. Wafa was still being held captive. She was 12 when ISIS kidnapped her and took her to Syria. Speaking to us from northern Iraq, she says she was bought and sold multiple times, raped, beaten, and electrocuted. In 2022, after 8 years in ISIS captivity, she was finally freed, but has nothing left. She's applied to join her parents in Canada, but hasn't received an answer.
A plan to help Yazidi women and children.
In 2017, the Canadian government announced it was accepting 1,200 Yazidi refugees and allowed them to sponsor 400 family members. But that program has reached its limit. I'm in a bad situation, she says. I want to be with my family. Her parents have watched in horror as Canada has brought home Canadians who allegedly traveled to join ISIS, including 9 women, only 3 of whom have been charged. What were the women of ISIS like? They all took part in it. At times, they were worse than the men, she says. Ali was recently diagnosed with a brain tumor. He hopes to live long enough to see his daughter again in Canada. Jeff Semple, Global News, Toronto.